Hey guys, this is IXRollOutIX with instructions for LEGO Transformers Quickstop. To make things simple, we're going to be building this model in sections. Section 1 will be the arms, Section 2, the legs, Section 3, the upper body, Section 4, the lower body, 5, the backpack, and 6, the weapon. How this is going to work is we'll start by doing a parts count for each section. Later in the video, we'll actually build each section up individually before putting the whole thing together. Kicking things off, here are all the parts you'll need for Section 1, for both of the arms. Feel free to pause if you need more time to look for all of the pieces. Now, I'm not going to go over every single piece, but there are a couple of things I would like to address. First, the kind of tires you'll need here actually come in a couple of different styles. The first style is what I can only imagine is the older of the two. It's a little bit of a tougher rubber here, and if you'll notice, the inside is completely solid. Might be a little bit difficult to see here. Now, the second style is definitely preferred, and you'll see why. It's a little bit of a softer rubber, and the inside has a cut in it, a little divot that goes all the way around. Again, both styles work, but this one works a lot better. Next, here are all the parts you'll need for Section 2, for both of the legs. Once again, feel free to pause if you need time to look for all of the pieces. Now, I would like to mention that these older style of hinges are no longer in production. You won't find them on any newer sets, unfortunately. If you don't have them, you're gonna need to look for them on Bricklink, but they shouldn't be too difficult to find. Here are all the parts you'll need for Section 3, the upper body and the head. I don't have a whole lot to say here, so pause the video if you need to, and let's move on. These are all the parts you'll need for Section 4, the lower body, Section 5, the backpack, and finally Section 6, the weapon. Now, there is something I'd like to mention here. You might not know it, but there are actually several different kinds of 2x1 brick. They all look very similar, but from the bottom, they have different internals. You have this style, which has a hole in the central peg and a couple of supports. Then you have this style, which is very similar. The peg is filled in, and you still have those supports. Now, both of these styles do work, but not nearly as well. You have to sort of orientate the gun a little bit differently, and I'll explain that a bit more when we actually build it. The style that has the best results is this kind. Still has that central peg, of course, but doesn't have the little supports. I think this is an older piece, so you might have trouble finding it, but again, Bricklink is your friend. Now that all of that is out of the way, we can finally start building Quickstop, starting with the arms. Now, you'll notice if you have the right kind of tire piece, when you place the stud in the center, it'll sort of conform around the edge. Just like that. That's what you want. And there you have one of the arms. Now, the arms are more or less symmetrical, so just mirror the build for the second one. Do note that one arm has a 2x1 tile, and the other arm has a jumper plate for holding the weapon. Moving on, next we'll build the legs. And there you have one of the legs. Of course, the second leg is identical, and you can just mirror the build for the second one. Next, we'll build the upper body. Now we'll build the lower body. Now we'll build the backpack. Finally, we'll build the weapon assembly. Now, what I meant earlier when I said that the other two styles of 2x1 brick work, but aren't quite as good, is when you transform this into gun mode, when you have those supports, you only have two options. This and this. Now, when those supports are gone, it opens up a third option. This. And I think it looks so much better than the other alternatives. Now we're in the final stretch. All that's left to do is put all of these sections together. Once all is said and done, there you have LEGO Transformers Quickstop. If you haven't already, don't forget to check out the original video where I showcase this guy for comprehensive transformation steps. There will be a link in the description. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and if you do build this guy, don't forget to give me credit. I'd really appreciate it. So, that is about it, guys, and this is IXRollOutIX, signing off.